Okay, we'll bring the meeting of the Douglas Cable Advisory Committee of Monday, February 26th to order. The time is approximately 7:05. We'll start the meeting by reminding everyone that there are 2 openings on the committee, and we'd love to have another 1 or 2 people join us to participate in our activities here. And the easy way to do that is either to go online at douglasma.org and find the form to fill out to join a committee, or email us at cable@douglasma.org, or give us a call at 508-476-4000, extension 222, and talk to Pat Aldrich, or leave a message, and we'd be happy to help you. We have financials for the months of December and January, and I'll go through the month-to-dates for the month of December, and then I'll do the month and year-to-date for the month of January. And so in December, full-time wages, $2,339, part-time wages, $885. We had repairs and maintenance of $93.15, other services of $175, for a total of $3,493.56. And then in January, we had full-time wages of $3,509, with year-to-date expenditure of $17,936, part-time wages of $666, and part-time wages of year-to-date of $5,414. And then we had FICA charges of $41.66, for a total of $343.48 for the year. We had other services of $1,775 for a total for the year of $37.08. We had office supplies, $99, year-to-date $358, and other supplies of $196, totaling for the year $305. And so we were in good shape for this season for our budget, and we have a couple of large projects coming up, hopefully, and we'll be talking about those as we go along. Continuing with the financials, there were expenditures that I signed off on. One for $268, our share of the keyless entry to the town hall, and then our cost for the internet of $175 a month for Charter Spectrum, which is not cable, but it's for internet services. And then again on January 11th, another internet charge of $175.18. And finally, on January 23rd, we bought some equipment, a UPS battery backup, gaffer's tape, VGA cable, an Apple Pencil, and the software license and assurance for the season for our
tightrope.
For our tightrope, the thing that brings you the programming each day on the 3 PEG channels. Any questions about those? No? And then we have the minutes of the Monday, December 11th meeting, and we haven't been able to meet since then, so I'm glad we're all here tonight.
So I've read the minutes, and I'm making a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on this? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. And then we have some official correspondence from Anna Lucy at Charter Communications. That customers will be notified of price adjustments that will take effect right about now. Basic TV is going from $22.99 a month to $23.89. The TV Select goes from $62.99 to $64.99. Broadcast TV surcharge goes from $7.50 to $8.85. And for a single DVR service, the price goes from $11.99 per month to $12.99. There's also some upcoming changes on the channel alignment that took effect on January 25th regarding BET Her, BET Jams, BET Soul, MTV2, MTV Classic, Teen Nicktoons, and so I would check your local cable listings for all those changes. And then, effective after March 6th, customers who signed up for service prior to March 14, 2016 will see the following changes made to their Spectrum channel lineup. And so Daystar, the Eternal World, EWTN, Inspiration, TBN, currently at Spectrum Select, will move to Spectrum Basic. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We have a copy of our annual report, which we submitted, that will be in the annual town report to the citizens. I just hope we have the other committee members' names at the bottom somewhere.
Yeah, they got cut off of this copy.
Okay, very good.
Feeling left out.
I also dated it January 8th, 2017, should be 18.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Okay,
they don't
that makes
reprint
sense.
that. Otherwise, I'm kind of Nostradamusing it.
And then we have correspondence from the Douglas Office of Information Technology. You want to go through this for us? And
Sure. It's just a memo from the IT director describing some of the website administration training that we've been doing. So we did a one that was based on the admin roles within the website platform, and then the other one was based on some of the document center, where they handle all the documents that the town clerk's going to handle, stuff like that, agenda center, stuff like that. So we've done a couple of those trainings. There's going to be, I think, one or two more, and then I believe I can do some one-on-one training if I'm not, comfortable at that point with it. But so he was just updating you guys, letting you know that.
so you will have a role with the rollout of the new website?
Yeah, he's intending to use me more of a backup
Right.
than anything. So it's not like a day-to-day thing. It's more of just if something happens and I'm here and he's not, then it might be easier for me to handle.
Okay, and
But
Civic.
he's not intending for a lot of it to roll my way.
Okay, so, but once it's up and running, you'll be the support type, at least if he's not here.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and Civic, what is Civic Plus? Is that a company? Is that a?
Civic Plus they do content management platforms. So the new website that we have, the new town website, the old one was based on one called Expression Engine, which is the same type of thing. It's just a way to handle the content. So, and it was the same idea where each individual department would have more of a hands-on with their own page, which I did with the Expression Engine stuff, and now with the Civic Plus. I find the Civic Plus is a little bit more updated. The Expression Engine seemed to be a little more like an older feeling as far as how website content is managed. So I do like the Civic Plus platform. And what he's really training me on is to be able to allow folks, if someone from one of the departments has an issue with their updating their page for some reason, they're getting an error message or it's not allowing them to do it, I can go in and look at the permissions that they have on that page, and I can administrate that as needed, if there's any issues.
I assume you're one of the the bigger users of,
I am, yeah. For our page at least, I'm pretty heavily trying to get that design sharpened up. I mean, it has everything that we had on the old page, but it gives us the opportunity to make it a little more streamlined with how we present the information.
It's just live now?
It's not live until March, but I have a link to a non-live version that I could show you guys if you're interested in seeing it. We just can't put anything public yet.
right,
Yeah, sounds good.
so sometime in March?
Yeah, so he's looking at March for launch.
That's Thursday.
Yeah. So it may be this month.
A month.
It just depends on how quickly if the other departments feel comfortable going forward too. Because he's not intending for me to be doing a lot of the work for them. It's more of like making sure they can do the work,
Okay, yeah,
Just keep that in mind.
Exactly.
yes, yeah.
So I just asked him if he wanted to update you guys. We were having the meeting, so.
Okay.
That's good.
Moving on, you want to explain the memo from the town administrator?
Sure, so, the new town administrator wanted us to do a 5-year forecast for our department, financial forecast.
Right.
And he gave me a spreadsheet to kind of go on to match up as far as style wise. So the next page there is that's our 5-year projection.
Okay, just out of curiosity, do you know why there's relatively little historical financial data for the,
I'm not sure, but I know that,
Seems like we have all of it, don't we?
it seems to me that there should be records of every nickel that's come in and been spent.
We submitted all the paperwork. And
Yeah.
I know, for me, I took it as an opportunity to understand the budget process in a little bit of a different way.
Yeah.
So understanding it through this way is a little bit different than we had been doing, so I don't know if that's the case, if it was just set up in a different way. But, setting it up the way that they asked me to deliver it, you could see, go ahead, sorry.
So, you've got all the numbers out for 5 years, but you must have went back in our records to get these,
I did go back through
Just go like that.
Sure, yeah, I went back through the past few years to look at, especially different, items, just to make sure. We've sort of been on a forecast of like a 3% increase per year.
Right.
And what I did is I went through each category and really looked at what we did last year, the year before, to make sure that everything's trending at that, cost. And what I did find is a few areas where it wasn't, and then a few areas were a little bit more. So what we did is adjust the budget a little bit, and it really does, it's pretty on the money with a general 3% each year. And I have broken it out on the bottom there. You can see our capital fund, which is the amount that we received in 2013 with our new license. So I've spread our capital needs into that as well. And the only thing really there that's a hitch is that we have, and what I'm predicting right now, and we've sort of slimmed up some of the equipment needs by focusing a lot of our attention on more of like the government programming. The public programming is another story, because if we were to start going in a direction that way, that's where a lot of the really expensive lighting equipment and studio equipment, stuff like that is. So really by focusing on government with sort of how we've been doing the public channel, with sort of organically with what, if something comes up, we'll cover it. If people want to make something, we'll do it. You know what I mean? It's not really pushing heavily on that side. I was able to keep our capital needs, pretty tight within that capital allotment that we had.
That is our main focus anyways.
Yeah, sure.
And so, the other thing that I'd bring up is the increase in the wages, is that, and Gene, shoot down the 3% idea.
Right, originally I had done a 3%, but the town had voted on a 1.5%. So we're stuck to the town's chart on that,
So
so
What's the state minimum wage?
$11, I think?
I think so.
It's going
Yeah,
up though, right?
Everybody, well, yeah, if it goes up, it'll, yeah.
Be 15 and then everything has to,
When does it go to 15? Do we?
I don't know, I think that's what they've been talking about though, right?
Yep.
We'll have to watch that. Might be something I'll talk to them about, just to see if we can get a prediction on that, but, because that would definitely affect our
Our
part-time wages.
Yep.
The, so we do have, the top half is the wages, then we have, general operating budget in the middle there. Your total expenses line, and then we have total cable salary and expenses line, you'll see there. And that's, just like it says, the expenses plus the salary, and that's pretty much our operating budget. And then below that, we have some items that we've done capital articles for. And the only one I'm really predicting for the next 5 years is, I was hoping to get a new iMac workstation. And especially with some of, with some of the file types increasing, we're going to HD in the some of the, not broadcasting in HD yet, but a lot of our workflows are going to start becoming HD. So, we usually like to stay pretty much on the top of the line with our, we're all Mac in there, and we like to, keep a nice machine. So that's the only real cost that I see that we'll have to do a capital article for, which means, we'll have to go to town meeting and have that voted on. And the next page in the packet is the proposal for that with the capital committee with that item. But then after that, it's really just replacement equipment for the most part. I don't foresee us
That'll
needing.
include the school department's needs, so.
That's the interesting thing that we need to just, I think, probably focus on a little bit and figure out is how we'll do budgeting for the school. I did include somewhat in our replacement equipment line, and we have some room there to get some basic school stuff, but, I think if I have to figure out really what are they going to have a budget that they have for equipment, and then we have like a supplemental budget, or like where do we operate within that? Do we?
I don't know, I think we'd have to work it out with them, and then,
Okay.
the other thing is maybe before the next school committee, we could go up, like, in the afternoon after they set up the equipment and just take a look and see what they got, and maybe take some pictures on our phones, and,
Sure, and I have pictures of their current rack and everything right now, so I could do a breakdown and, I think they're gonna need like everything. We
well,
bought
yeah,
them.
I don't think anything's really been replaced up there since they
They-
started doing it, so.
They have a
Right.
fairly new mixer for the audio, and they have a fairly new recorder for the video. So those two main things are really new.
But
and
they're
other
probably
than
still
that-
using a camera that, one of our handhelds would probably be is good.
They have the old style kind of studio cameras, those
Right.
big giant ones.
Yep.
So, and I'm not sure, like I sent her the ones that we use, but it's a whole different ballgame from what they're using. So I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I
Well,
don't know
like
what
said,
they're intending to
yeah,
use or
'cause
what.
I assume the connectivity and everything is just very different for,
Well, I had sort of outlined an HD workflow because a lot of the stuff that the video class
oh,
does is
yeah,
HD.
well, if we're going to HD on this side, we should be doing it on that side too.
It's inevitable. But where I came to a problem with theirs is that all their infrastructure for their, like the auditorium, they would use that equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That infrastructure is all based on, composite cabling and stuff. So, I started kind of really scratching my head looking at that going, well, how are they gonna work if I get them all?
Compatibility issue, right?
Yeah, it becomes and you could use all sorts of adapters and such, but it's sort of wasting like if we're not gonna, that's where I started wondering, all right, well, where do we really need to draw the line as far as what we're gonna provide?
What are they asking for more from us?
They're not necessarily asking, but I think that we should probably head it off because
Because, I guess, before the meeting we didn't have 2 weeks ago, one of the selectmen was in, saying, you gotta do something about the audio up there.
Oh.
Which oddly enough, then I listened to it the next night and the audio sounded fine. I don't know what happened.
The charter folks, just to note that too, the charter folks did say, because I went back and forth
Yep,
with them
okay,
about it.
yep.
And I said, how could it be bad for one person, not for the other? And she said that actually with the live feed,
Yep.
it could have been a node issue where there's nodes in different areas. I don't know if
Yeah,
you live
yeah.
near him or what, but she said it could happen where one person experiences one thing and the other person experiences the other.
You know, I know that
From
we
chat.
had.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're giving them clean audio and.
Right.
Well,
That's
because
what Tom-
the audio that he gets the next day is clean.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we had received a complaint that the audio was bad, so I went immediately checked the recorded version, which was totally
And-
fine. So I was like,
And
well,
also, you know, I have tuned in the past, and it was like, you turn your volume up all the way, and you get a lot of hum and hiss, and then somewhere you'd hear a voice in the background.
and I think it depends a lot on how it gets set up, because the other problem that they're having is it's not like we have this room all set up and it's
Yep.
pretty much all set to go and you just plug and play.
Right.
Yeah.
They drag their stuff around and they go from different things and they use it for
Yep.
different purposes. So a lot of times people are finagling different
solar
knobs.
equipment there's levels to be set and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
if somebody fiddles around with like the master output of the mixer, then,
It's very easy to throw those
Yeah.
settings off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Very easy.
And I don't know if you'd even notice if it was live. You know, I don't think the operator at the camera there has any sort of
unless he's
feed.
listening, yeah,
Through headphones, yeah.
through headphones on what's going out, or even getting a back feed to
To the live signal.
the yeah, plugged into an actual TV that's getting the audio back.
Yeah, so
In which
it's-
case there might be a little bit of a delay, which may.
Well, yeah, that always throws you off a little bit.
But I know too that we've had issues with that same exact equipment where it sounds fine when I'm recording something and then we
Yep.
get it back and it sounds awful. Like there's something,
Yep.
you know. I think it's probably a quick fix. It's just, you know, someone's gonna have to throw some money at it.
Right.
So that's, I mean,
Somebody's gonna have to find the problem first.
right. Well, I think I've identified the pieces that they need to replace, but I just need to figure out the theory from this point on. Like how do we marry the needs of you know, the video class and then the needs of the town.
Right.
You know, I almost wish they could make just a meeting room to have it in. That would be so much easier. Just
Oh,
design
yeah.
it for that and then
Yeah.
move on to the next issue, you know.
Now, unfortunately, they don't have a room that that only gets used twice a month. From 7 to 9 or whatever. So,
It's a unique issue, but you know, if as we could talk more to them about what they have available for budgeting and then go from there.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Moving on, you have your capital improvement committee request form.
Yes, so that's for the iMac Pro workstation,
So this would go before the town meeting.
correct.
And after we get the approval from the town meeting, then we go out we get 3 bids.
No, with this, that's an interesting question, because it would be through Apple. I don't think we could get a better deal than through Apple themselves. You know what I mean?
You know, I think there's, not that it's price fixing, but I don't think, yeah, it's really hard to find different pricing on Apple
Yeah.
products.
Right.
So.
So there may be a waiver on trying to get.
I'll have to ask about,
you
that's
have to ask
interesting.
about that. Because
Right, because technically that's the position, you have to get 3 quotes, but
right,
I can't imagine anyone could get lower than Apple themselves, but,
well, you never know.
yeah.
Stranger things have happened. Back
True.
in the day when there was that stuff and people would sell it under the price and they'd be sued. So,
I don't know if we need to have on this 5-year projection. I'm probably gonna have to submit that to the town administrator, and then that'll become part of.
do you want us to approve this?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. At the 5-year projection, beginning with the actual 17 figures, the budget for this year, and the proposed for 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. And I know there's a line here which shows us how much money we will get from charter
Oh, yeah, so right, if you look at the bottom of the big box there, it says charter revenue requested. So in 17, we got the
Okay.
59901, 69, so that's the actual check.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And then you'll see that in that same box, we,
And that's assuming a 3% increase. each.
correct, that's asking for 3% increase, and the operating budget with difference, the very bottom line there, I was told that we should be saving for, we're gonna have another license negotiation in 2023, and we'll have to come up with that, so I was told that if we had, you know, kind of a built-in savings.
But it is good to have the money set aside to pay for that, because it will be a big chunk.
Yep.
I can't imagine what we'll argue about at that point. But I'm sure that there'll be some issues. You have any thoughts on that, Chris? No? So,
Yeah, things are changing fast, I think.
I see, I can think it was more internet than cable.
well, we only have cable. That's the only thing that we can
Yeah.
discuss with these guys, so. And despite everyone's, so anyways, do I hear a motion to approve the proposed 5-year budget plan for the cable committee?
So moved.
Second?
Do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted. And
And
we need something from us on the capital?
I think that we'll need to submit this to Capital and probably sit with them. That's what we did last time we submitted an article. And just
okay.
let the Capital Committee know. I can do that if, you know, if,
Okay.
and then,
And if we do have a discussion, you'll print out all the bells and whistles that come with a $14,000 computer.
sure, yeah. And then the other thing, so the next page after that is just the proposed budget for FY19. It's the same, as on that other page, but, I think that we're gonna need to sit with the, FinCom, the Finance Committee.
Yep, okay.
And discuss that part, if
Okay.
not the 5-year projection as well.
Okay.
I think it was like the March 27th, I believe, is the next date that they had open.
Okay,
So I'll get back to you on that. I'll find out if we can.
can't wait.
Do they spend a lot of time on these
No,
budget?
no, because
We make our own money.
yeah, our money is not tax
Right.
revenue.
So I was thinking it should be fairly.
So it should be
easy
fairly
for them.
straightforward. So, then you wanna take a look at it, well, since we just approved the 5-year thing, could we just approve the proposed fiscal 19 budget that we will send to the finance committee?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 2019 budget to submit to the finance committee.
Second?
Thank you. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted. Which brings us to your report.
All right. So attached, the 2017 December 2017, January 2018 meeting reports. They're very similar months. Nothing too surprising there.
Yes, the wages are within $3. Speaking of very similar.
Pretty close. Fairly quiet January.
Okay.
Moving on, Mitch, in December, Mitch had actually transferred the iTunes RSS feed. He transferred what he had of the RSS feed to our control with the cable account. And the video archive that had always been on the old website page, which technically is still the current website page, that video page holds from 2006 to 2017 all the videos. So what we did was we took that and created an external video page, Gesundheit, but based on the exact same, based on the same platform. And what we can do now is that on our video page on the new site, I'll just have an external link for archived videos. And
Okay.
that's actually all through DreamHost now, which is it's $119 a year, which
Okay.
really isn't that bad to have that video archive. But I am gonna also look at possible ways of getting everything into one spot so that we're not,
Right.
doing all these.
How would you transfer all that?
Well, I have them all on file here in digital form.
Okay.
So I could upload them to another place, and looking into the Internet Archive that we're currently part of. So everything I upload right now to YouTube also goes to the Internet Archive, and there it stays as a digital archive. And so I'm looking into how to batch upload stuff into that digital archive so that everything's there, which is free to us, so we don't, we won't be
Yeah.
paying anything. But in the meantime, we pay $120 a year on that other site.
Yeah.
Which, relatively is a pretty light, it's a light bill for what it is.
Considering the amount of
Yeah.
space we're taking, it's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. So that's our plan temporarily. January 2nd, all the Oktoberfest 2017 videos were edited and being broadcast or streaming online. There was a total of 19 programs. I took upon the request of the Oktoberfest committee, I tried to get some other things that were happening throughout the day as well, because we tend to get the, set up on
Yeah.
the bands and stuff, and so I understood that, so we grabbed some other stuff, like what was the Wiener Dog race. That was a fun one to cover. A little challenging, but, so we've had these PJ790V Sony cameras for recording meetings that happen outside of any areas like this that are set up for meeting recordings. So, the sewer or in the kitchen here or Board of Health. Those cameras we've had an ongoing issue with, they've had this audio issue where we need a special adapter. Once we get the special adapter, which aren't very expensive, but once we get that adapter, everything runs smoothly. But those adapters run out of life, and it'll go back to, it makes a very noisy audio. It's something to do with the impedance of the actual input,
Yeah.
matching up with the, what we're using. And so that was kind of always a little bit of a pain. It wasn't ideal. And then a new update of Apple Compressor, which is the main software we use for converting the video files.
Yeah.
There's something happening there where the files from the Sony are not working properly with the compressor. Once I confirmed this directly through the compressor folks, we had two of those, and they've been in. I was looking at replacing them in the next couple of years. So I've pulled those out of the line just because they've become an issue with that. But we already have 3 other Sony cameras that we use for mainly public, but honestly, they're great cameras. There's no reason we can't use them for meetings too. And we can actually plug in 2 microphones into those cameras where the other ones only took 1. So it does give us a little bit more of an opportunity. And I personally don't think we need to replace those anytime soon. We don't have a heavy use on the other cameras. So.
You okay?
January 14th, the Mac Pro computer, which I had used as my main workstation for years and years. I have not used it for 3-4 years now, but we had it just as an extra computer at this point. That finally kind of kicked and has not been able to turn on properly. So I put that aside as well because
Any idea how old that is?
that was 2000 and it was 2010 maybe.
Okay.
I can get back to you with that answer, but so again, we don't need to replace it. Once I had gotten this iMac in there, that had kind of replaced it already. It was sort of just an archiving unit, and I had already pulled all the files off it in preparation for it not working anymore. The broadcast stack UPS battery system unit had failed. We grabbed another one because I was anticipating that about a year apart we were going to be grabbing those because we put a lot through them. They're heavily used, and so I already had one in there. We replaced it, and one of the conversion adapters that's used for the bulletin board that turns our files into video for the file playback system. one of those, because of the shutdown, it didn't come back online properly, so we didn't have the bulletin board for a couple days, but we got that fixed pretty quickly.
Okay.
The high school recording rack assessment, met with Donna Souza and discussed with Al Denoncourt. So this is what we were discussing about the high school rack, where I'd taken pictures and everything and discussed with both of them their separate needs and then trying to marry their needs together. The 24th, we had Civic Plus website admin training, which we discussed earlier. On the 25th of January, I moved, in this office where the Mac Pro was, I had a big giant workstation table, it was like a double workstation, and I just didn't think we needed it anymore. Once I pulled that computer out, it looked really big, so I pulled that out and put a smaller table in. So if you guys want to take a look in the office, it feels a lot bigger, which we can use every inch we can get in there.
Yeah.
Civic website, oh, I already said that. Okay, so the in dealing with the live situation from the school, and the selectman had said the live problem, we're going back and forth with the Charter Worcester office that deals with all the live broadcasting. And in the middle of this, they told me that there's a new, there's going to be a new protocol with Charter as far as how they address our live broadcast equipment needs. So right now, we're sort of I'm not sure who's gonna help us. We do have an 800 number I could call if we have problems in the meantime. But these folks used to be able to come out and do a site visit and assess stuff and help figure it out, and they're not allowed to do that anymore. They've been grounded. So,
Did you use them?
we've used them for any time we've had issues with, even if the live signal goes out, I can call them. They can discuss it with the technicians at the head end. They can, they kind of troubleshoot it for me, which I think I might be able to still do with them, but I think that we're gonna get a new protocol. And she said the best she could do is sometime soon, we'll get a letter from Charter explaining all this.
Who's that from?
That's from Danielle DeLucia. She's up at the Charter office in Worcester.
And she's, so how often have we had to bring these guys out?
Not super often, and like when we pulled the school's equipment over here and did the playback server changeover and
Yep.
stuff, they put in the new receiver and transmitters for
Okay.
the fiber.
Yep.
They do all the fiber work and
Yep.
whatnot. It's their office that arranges that, so hopefully they'll give us something soon with a new solution.
Interesting to see.
Yeah, so, so that's all the updates.
Okay.
And then I just listed some priorities just to go over, as we go. The resource room and the community room, video component upgrades. I've requested the quotes from different vendors, and we've had a site view, and I have another site view this week. So hopefully I can get the 3 quotes by the next meeting.
Okay.
I'm hoping to plan the install portion of it by April, maybe May at the latest.
Okay.
And the DHS recording rack assessed the technical needs. We just need the, budget needed before recommendations. The community video archive is complete with the external page and with the new YouTube protocols. Website transfer options, that's all complete. The new website will go into effect smoothly with no problem from the old website. Community informational programs, that's just a priority that we had planned, and we had done the ones that were targeted, which are the library and the senior center, which are just great informational programs about each. They both like doing that, so we'll
Okay.
probably do more of those,
Good.
but the live broadcast from the library, that was on my priority list, and we did discuss it, but we discussed it to be determined on another budget in the future. And that's just to get a fiber transmitter at the library that we could do live video broadcasting from downtown.
Okay. Okay.
And they're
Is
just,
that something that the cable public access team would have helped with?
yes. I was working directly with them for that,
Okay.
so that's something that I would have to get a new solution
Would it be
first.
incumbent on us to pay for the transmitter?
That's interesting, because when discussing it, that's what the impression that I had was that we'd have to buy that. But if you actually look within our license, in the clauses for areas that they pay for,
Yep.
I believe we have 3 areas that we can have totally outfitted. So I'll have to look at that language again, because it's,
Okay.
but, if not, I think the transmitter itself is like under 2,000. So
Yep.
it might be doable either way, but,
Okay.
5-year financial protection is complete, and the website launch is just the next one coming up in March, which is right around the corner.
It certainly is. Thank you.
No problem.
The equipment, we'll discuss next time.
Yep.
So,
Just a reminder, we're just doing the video stuff in this room and that room, the cameras and the controllers, monitors, things like that.
is there any other business anyone would like to bring up?
Can't think of anything.
Okay, our next meeting, and in order to facilitate the bids that we will get in for the new cameras, will be on the Monday, the 12th of March. No, this can't be the 12th, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4.
it is.
Yeah, the 12th.
Yep.
So that'll be
Soon.
soon. It'll be 2 weeks. But then we can get the cameras moving and have it done sooner rather than later.
Yep.
And, great. So with that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The meeting is ended at approximately 7:43.